This AAC production line is designed by Changzhou Success Building Material Machinery Company. The main raw materials in the production line are fly ash, sand, lime, cement, gypsum, aluminum powder, and waste finish blocks. First, sand is poured into the feeding hopper by wheel loader. Then it's transferred by belt conveyor to ball mill for milling. The recycled waste product will be poured into the feeding hopper. Next, the jaw crusher at the bottom will grind it for the first time before conveying it to roll crushing mill for second crushing. After being lifted by bucket elevator, it will be stored in a silo. Last, the waste finished products will be conveyed to ball mill and be ground with sand together to form slurry. Then slurry will be transferred first to the intermediate slurry pool and pumped to slurry tank for storage. Fly ash in the silo will reach intermediate slurry pool through scale, becoming fly ash slurry and then stored in tank. Slurry in the tank will be transferred to the scale in the batching room for metering. The powder-type raw material in the silo will be sent to scale for metering by screw conveyor. Water scale will measure the water consumption. Then, the raw materials will be transferred to the pouring mixer for mixing. 1 minute before pouring, aluminum powder will be added to the mixer first. Empty mode will be driven by frictional wheel to the pouring position and positioned by accurate positioning device. Next, the pouring arm will descend to the empty mode and start pouring. The whole batching process is controlled by PLC automatic control system. Then the mode will be sent back to the ferry trolley. The ferry trolley will transport the mode to vacant position for pre-curing. The slurry in the mode is foaming and coagulating. Then the ferry trolley will pull out another mode to frictional wheel by which they will be transferred to the aerial tilting crane. The aerial tilting crane will lift the mold and turn it into 90 degrees and put the cake on the cutting cart. After that, the crane lifts the empty mold to combine with the side panel on the return line to assemble a new mold. After assembling, the new mold will be put back to the return rail and repeat the process above. The cutting cart will drive the cake to cutting machine, and the cake will undergo cutting in 3 steps. First, groove on 2 sides of the cake. Second, cut the cake horizontally. Third, cut the cake vertically. The cake is driven by cutting cart to tilting and bottom scrap removal device. The device will turn the cake into 90 degrees so that the waste on top of the cake will fall into the waste slurry pool, and the scrap at the bottom will be scraped to the pool. Then the cake will be turned back to the original position. The device will put the cake back to the trolley, and 3 modes of cake will be put in 1 trolley. The grouping crane will lift the trolley with the cake to the grouping line and start grouping by drawing machine. The waste slurry in the pool will be pumped back to the tank for recycling and reusing. The pre-curing room is equipped with radiator to prevent water loss in the cake before entering the autoclave. Five trolleys with cakes will be driven into the autoclave by in-and-out ferry trolley. Gas gas distribution room transport the steam in the boiler room into the autoclave, curing the cake for about 10 hours. The finished product will be put out from the autoclave and be transferred to the crane by drawing machine. The finished product and side panel are lifted by the crane from the trolley to the side panel rollers and rolled to the separation position. The crane will lift the empty trolley back to the return line. The drawing machine will return the trolley to the grouping position for next grouping. Block separating machine will separate the finished product. After that, the finished blocks with side panel will be transferred by rollers to clamping position. Clamping device will clamp the finished blocks and transport them to the wooden pallets on the packaging line. The packaging line transports two modes of finished blocks to the pushing machine for combination. Then the packaging line separates the finished blocks in different pallets and sends them to the strapping position. The finished blocks will undergo horizontal packaging twice by horizontal packaging machine. Then the finished blocks will be lifted by forklift and transported to the storage yard. This video is designed and produced solely by Changzhou Success Building Material Machinery Company. Ultimate copyright is reserved by Changzhou Success Building Material Machinery Company. Thanks for watching.